Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Mitch
and TD.
And we kind of want to do a quick video on what is a CCL and what is the line item breakdown when it comes to presenting pricing to the client for the initial CCL pricing analysis.
Yeah, these two things drive everything. And so when a client comes in the door, they've got a picture. Shows a picture and they say, I want to build that. And I've got 600 grand, whatever it is. So we will take that picture and we will ask you for a list of must-haves. We'll take those must-haves and we will create a line-by-line budget. And when I mean line-by-line, I mean 6 pages, 7 pages.
Yeah. It
is down to everything. Concrete, frame, footers, lumber packages, everything, composite, standing seam, whatever your roof is, everything is in that line by line breakdown, and it is truly line by line. The goal is to take the construction cost limit, the goal of that client, right? They've come in and they've said, hey, I want to build X for Y. Mitch has looked at X and Y and said, hey, this is doable. Kicked it over to the PM. The PM's looked at it and said, I think this is doable. I think we can hit this. And then once everyone's agreed this is something we can do, then we're doing a full CCL breakdown with the client's, full line item breakdown with the client CCL. The goal is to give the client, give the designer of record, and then for the general contractor to all have that same line by line budget.
Yeah.
And then over the pre-construction services period, we're gonna fill in every line with real numbers from either vendors or subcontractors in that area.
Yeah.
And that's the goal. We get to the end of pre-construction services with a completed line by line breakdown with all the actual numbers it costs to buy your actual building and your actual appliances.
Yeah.
And that CCL will move based on the client accepting this change or that change. There are situations that say where a client says, I really want a sub-zero fridge. They go, okay, that's 20 grand, not a big deal, but we have you down for this GE, whatever.
Just a standard plug number, or some general appliances that we talked about in the initial presentation. So if somebody does add that on later during the pre-construction process, we would have that. It would be transparent that would be an additional cost. So there's no debate at that point.
No, the conversation is more like this. You got a sub-zero fridge. It's 20 grand. Go up to the client. Hey, this is 20 grand. You know it's 20 grand. You originally wanted maybe a GE Craftsman that was 6 or 10.
Yeah.
And this is 10 grand more. He might say, or she might say, okay, I'm going to go with that. But I want to stay at this roughly the same CCL, or is there somewhere that I can cut?
Yeah.
So then you might say, well, you were going to go with a, who knows, whatever. We can change that out, or we can change it. My job as the general contractor is to take the number, give the client the information that they are under budget or over budget, and what do you want to do?
And this is all during the pre-construction and design phase. So everything's always on the table, which is great. So there are no surprises. But during this initial CCL analysis or pricing presentation, this is before any contracts are signed. This is us saying, we think we can take on this contract and we'll price it for the client. So our PM will reach out to all of the subcontractors, all the suppliers in the area, try to get as accurate of pricing as possible based on what the client gives us. So if they give us a floor plan or a picture of a house with a floor plan, and then they say, I want this in the house, this, and this. Here's my budget. And we may say, there are times where we may say, okay, we know we can build this house within that budget, but there are certain features on there. Let's say they want, single pitch metal roof or radiant floor heating, and it's so tight on the budget that they may or may not be able to add that in as a client, but we will include that on the estimate during the presentation, so the client can see exactly how much that would cost. So at that time, decisions can start being made at that point, even before we're even under contract. But if they wanted to add that on later, let's say they didn't have that in a must-have, and that's what T's talking about with like a Sub-Zero fridge. If that's not in the must-haves, that was never priced in originally. So that's where it would be additional cost, either during the pre-construction phase, or you'd have to take something away to try to offset that cost as well.
Yeah, we've had clients, the government 2 years ago wanted to change change a gym, a locker and some locker rooms to add a laboratory and some other stuff. Not a big deal, but we have to price it. We have to look at that change and then present the client with the difference. Okay, you were going to build this and it was whatever, and you now are proposing to build this and it's this much. You're over budget, you're under budget. Is this acceptable? If the client says, yeah, I like it that way, I don't want to change it, fine. The CCL just changed. It's not a big deal. You just up the CCL and the client approved it. Not a big deal. If the client says, I don't have any more money, or I don't want to spend any more money, where can we shave? Then we'll go out and look for ways that we can shave that
so
money.
we either increase the budget. This is pretty standard HGTV stuff at this point. If you ever watched, what's that one with the guy and the gal that compete? One of them's trying to sell the house, the other one's trying to rent it.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Kind of the same thing, she takes away things to try to give you something.
The British girl.
Yes. And a lot of the times it's because her client comes in later and says, we want this. And then she says, I don't have the budget for that. So they have to either swap things around, or they say, we'll fork over the extra $22,000, for an extra bathroom or something like that. So it's the same concept, pretty standard. But before we get to that point, we like to have as much information as far as the must-haves, so we can put that in the initial pricing presentation. That way the client knows exactly what it would cost to build what they want, and if they're within their budget, if they're over their budget with what they want, or if maybe they have some more room to spend. We've had that as well, to where they say, hey, I budgeted for this house to cost this much, and then we come back and they say, wow, I actually have some extra money. Let's build a garage or something along those lines.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's on the table. Including our profit. Our profit's disclosed. It's a percentage of the total, but it's disclosed up front. That percentage is set. We're a for-profit company. Everybody knows we're going to make money. We disclose it, put it up in front, so nobody has to worry about how much are you guys making. So anyway, we put that on there.
It's all part of that line item breakdown.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else, but basically, in the end, the CCL and the line item breakdown are the two things that everybody is using through the pre-construction services to develop the design and the budget. That's what you're after, and everybody's on the team moving in the same direction towards the same goal, which is to solidify the CCL or solidify the line item budget to match that CCL.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's all we're going to do for this video. The last video was pretty long. I think that was over half an hour long. So once again, we appreciate everybody watching these videos. We are approaching 1,000 subscribers now. So once we hit that mark, hopefully YouTube's little magic algorithm will put us out there even more. But we appreciate all the support, the comments, the likes, the shares. If anybody has any questions, of course, leave a comment or send us an email at info@macnac.com. If you are in the area and you are looking to build, and that's why you might be watching these videos right now, shoot us an email as soon as possible, even if it's preliminary, and maybe you just purchased some land, or you're waiting for that to close, or maybe you're just now, you have a piece of property and you're looking to build. Reach out to us ASAP. In the last video we mentioned, we only do about 8 builds a year for private residential clients. So the sooner you get in, the sooner the wait, or
and private commercial.
Well, so
same.
Yeah, same thing. We are limited as far as how many people we have here, so we have to stage our builds out. We start them every 45 days. We start pre-construction services. So if you have any questions, let us know. Once again, thank you for watching. Everybody have a great day. I'm Mitch.
And I'm TD.
Thank you for watching our channel. Bye-bye.